I know I'm tardy to the party with this subject, and I'm sure you've already seen it by now since it happened a few days ago, but just like Game of Thrones Season 8, it just keeps getting worse. It's the Actman situation, Actman vs. YouTube. The Actman is a large YouTuber who recently posted an hour-long video, basically an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary, on another YouTube channel going over all the awful things that they've done or said in their time on the internet. And as a result of posting this video, he received a strike. YouTube took it down due to nudity and sexual content because of a poorly photoshopped cucumber next to the person's mouth who the video was about. That seems like a pretty drastic over-enforcement of the rule. If they really found it to be highly sexual, it should have just resulted in limited ads as opposed to a full strike on the channel. Like, I've eaten a banana in a video before, and now I'm starting to sweat. Like, what might happen to me? It just really felt like one of those moments that was a full-blown mistake, and we've seen it a million times in the past, where the YouTube bots controlled by Skynet malfunction and issue a strike at random by accident, and then it's overturned shortly thereafter. However, the appeal was rejected within, I believe, 30 minutes of the Actman submitting it, a manual rejection, which means someone with a pulse supposedly looked at it and still said, yep, that shit's staying off the platform. We're putting the kibosh on it right now. So then it became a little bit fishier. Why? The reasoning just doesn't make any sense. It's not like he uploaded Mr. Hands or Two Girls, One Cup in his video. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny piece of an hour-long video that had something that is slightly sexual and by all definitions pretty inoffensive. Almost no one's gonna look at that and be like, holy shit, cover your eyes. Oh my lord, he's going too hard. He's going hog wild out there. It's just not the most sexually explicit thing in the world. Even if they're going full Weenie Hut Jr. mode here, it's still pretty tame by those definitions. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I also think this highlights another shortcoming YouTube's had since the beginning of time, where if a single minuscule piece of a video is a problem, they strike the whole video. They take the whole thing down instead of just letting you yourself remove that piece, that insignificant little piece, that 2 or 3 second little problem zit. Why not just let the creator pop it? YouTube has a built-in editor where you can take things out. So why not just alert the channel like, hey, the video is fine, but there's this one part that's a problem. If you want to keep it in, it's going to get age restricted or you're going to get a strike. But you can take it out and nothing will happen. We're letting you know you have 1 week to take it out. Every single channel would elect to take it out. Like in Actman's case, if they just told him the cucumber Photoshop thing is a problem, I'm certain he would have used the editor to just take it out of the video. Problem solved, and then there's no issue. And that saves YouTube a lot of trouble as well, because that completely avoids the ensuing shitstorm. Why not just let us use the editor to take out the problem? It's something that I also pitched to Susan, the CEO of YouTube, when I talked to her, and she thought it was a great idea, as did the policy head. That was 2 years ago. When is it coming? But anyway, in his anger, he turned to the dark side and committed the sin that every YouTuber is guilty of. He went to Twitter to start a shitstorm, to finally force a real answer out of YouTube, to finally get an actual response and real action from the company. But unfortunately for Actman, he ended up with YouTube's cucumber in his mouth. They responded to this by age-restricting 2 videos of his that were completely unrelated, and then just hitting the speedrun any % record for appeal rejections by slapping it down in 30 minutes. So, needless to say, the Twitter action wasn't super effective for Actman, but this was only the beginning. Because as of 2 hours ago, YouTube wasn't done huffing and puffing. They blew his whole house down. They demonetized Actman's entire channel, leaving him ineligible for future monetization. This is essentially being fired from his job, all without ever getting a single explanation as to why. It just happened. So this seems like a complete failure on YouTube's part here, and everything that resulted after the initial strike was done in pure pettiness. There's one more thing I'd like to talk about, and it's a little unrelated to the exact Actman situation, but it has to do with the way YouTubers get YouTube's attention directly. As you've noticed throughout the entire history of YouTube, every time there's a problem, people go to Twitter to talk about it, and vent about it, and tag YouTube in it. And the reason for that is because for most channels, that's the only means of getting a response from the company. Do you know how fucking pathetic that is? To have people like Actman, who are essentially employees, having to go on Twitter and publicly whine about their boss? That's so demoralizing. Having to grovel at their feet, cry and beg for just a little scrap of information as to what's going on and if they can lend a little hand to fix a problem. That is just the worst system of all time. But that's the only way most YouTubers have any access to the company. And it seems to be the only efficient way of getting things solved. And I'm guilty of doing it too. I've gone on Twitter to take a fat dump Baruski on YouTube for something they fucked up on, because I try every other alternative going through all of the proper YouTube channels, but it never leads to solutions. The only thing that does is by making a big hubbub on Twitter about it. It's just so pathetic. No YouTuber or anyone wants to be publicly whining on Twitter about a problem. They want it to be fixed behind the scenes, and YouTube shouldn't want it to be a big problem on Twitter either. The Actman shit has been trending for like 12 hours now. It's like the #1 trend in the world. And it's bad for YouTube, but he's tried everything else. He's been talking to his partner manager, whom I'm just going to say seems like has no power in this situation, which is about par for the course, because a lot of times partner managers have absolutely no ability to solve problems. They're fundamentally just hall monitors for the principal, but don't actually have any level of power, unfortunately, though I do believe they should, because every partner manager I've ever known at YouTube is a great person, really on the side of creators, but their hands are tied with what they're given from the company and how to handle problems. So the only thing YouTubers can do is, once they exhaust their partner manager, if they even have one, and once they exhaust all the official channels, all they can do, the only thing left, is to make a big deal about it on Twitter. And it sucks. It sucks for YouTube because they look like shit, per usual. And it sucks for the creator because no one wants to just be publicly, making a big scene about shit that should be private. It's just so frustrating that it's been like this for years with no signs of changing. They need to improve the communication. When I had a conversation with Susan, this was one of the things I brought up, and I was told that they're working on making that better. That's been 2 years now, and it's still the same. And unfortunately, in Actman's case, it backfired on him because YouTube got upset about it and started really blasting his whole channel over the issue. Even though they only had a problem with one video, for some reason they extended it to his entire channel, which seems to be purely done out of spite. Regardless of how you feel about Actman or Actman's video that started all of this, I believe everyone can agree that the strike is utter bullshit. There is no grounds for nudity and sexual content strike here. And there's even less reasonable explanation for why 2 completely unrelated videos got age restricted shortly after this problem was brought to Twitter. And there's absolutely zero reason for why his whole channel was then demonetized afterward. All of this completely unrelated from that first video. It seems like a complete fuck up from YouTube and an utter failure to enforce their policies properly. And I'm pretty confident they will overturn this. I really do think they will. I think at some point it'll go up the right chain and the right people, and they'll realize that all of this was a big mistake, and they'll overturn it. But they need to not only accept responsibility, but improve the system that keeps failing the platform. There's no reason, again, why YouTubers have only one course of action, which is to go to Twitter. Partner managers need more power to fix things. There's just no downsides to giving partner managers more power. Legitimately, only good things can come from that. It's not like it's going to birth Dr. Doom. There's not going to be some rogue YouTube employee partner manager who just becomes a supervillain and, uploads Goatsy on everyone's channel or some shit. If a partner manager has more power and can actually solve problems like Actman's here, which would only take a couple of seconds to recognize that this is an over-enforcement of their policy and a mistake, then that whole problem gets shut down immediately, and it never makes it as far as this one has in the public eye, where now it's a huge thing on Twitter and YouTube and Twitch. A lot of people talking about it on Twitch too, because it's such a big, wide-ranging issue. None of that happens if a partner manager can just solve it themselves. But unfortunately, we don't live in that utopia. We're fucking condemned to this dystopian Narnia where YouTube has this archaic, awful system in place that nothing ever gets solved unless there's an absolutely massive public backlash against the company. So now everyone sees how stupid YouTube looks and how mismanaged and dysfunctional these systems are, and it's a bad look for the platform. It's bad for creators, and it's bad for the platform that there is no actual way of solving problems privately. It has to be done publicly in the public eye on Twitter in order for things to get solved on YouTube. That's so silly. Give YouTube partner managers more power to fix problems, and you solve a lot of reputational damage to YouTube. They can avoid so much conflict in the future if they just give those partner managers the ability to fix things. Everything that's happened to the Act-Man this week is absolutely terrible. It's awful, but I am confident it's going to get overturned and fixed. But it's still extremely embarrassing for the platform as a whole that the only way these things get fixed is when there's a big enough public backlash for it. There just needs to be a better system in place, or this is going to keep happening forever, as it has been for the last decade. Just fucking fix the problem. Partner managers really do everything they can to help their partners on the platform, but they just don't have many tools of helping. Give them those tools, and you will stop issues like this. That's about it. That's about it. See ya. Whenever I make the mistake of checking the trending tab on YouTube, I'm spit roasted with the sad reality that the majority of the popular content online is garbage aimed towards kids, just a whole load of horse shit that's aimed at children. And there's a good reason for that. It's because children are like viewbots. Parents no longer feel like raising their own kids. They put that responsibility on the internet now. So just sit their kids down in front of an iPad to let videos autoplay all day while they go on Facebook to complain about how difficult it is to be a modern parent, and then whine when something's not child-friendly enough because God forbid they have to do any level of parenting on their own and actually monitor their kids' behavior. So these kids are like prisoners being held hostage by their parents, strapped to a table like Hannibal fucking Lecter with their eyes pried open, being forced to watch YouTube kids content because their parents can't be bothered to entertain them. And I do feel bad for the kids because they're growing up thinking TikToks are hilarious because they're brainwashed by this terrible YouTube shit. This awful, terrible YouTube kids content. And no channel is worse than Troom, which we'll take a look at today. Today I'll be watching their 18 ways to sneak pets into a movie theater, which comes at the greatest time for this considering movie theaters are extinct right now. And of course, everyone's been asking for years, man, I want to go to the movie, but I want to bring my jellyfish. How the fuck am I going to be able to do this? Luckily, Troom has plenty of answers for you. Tons of tactics and techniques to sneak your beloved pets into the movie theater where they belong.
Your ticket! What do you need a hat for? Yo, this hat is my lifestyle. Yo. Whoa, not bad. Come in. Come out, cutie. It's your favorite part.
This hat is my lifestyle, yo. Thank you, Troom. I don't have a hamster, but I will be smuggling 3 pounds of cocaine in my hat now using your technique. It's ingenious. This whole skit feels like it was written by a computer program, just like an AI that's in its most primitive state at the moment. No movie theater is like this. I've been to hundreds of movie theaters, and never a single time has there ever been like a security guard strictly checking tickets like with a flashlight, making sure it's not counterfeit, and then interrogating you about a hat. It's not like you're going to a fucking funeral, you're going to see a Marvel movie or something. So this whole thing just doesn't make any sense. And why would you ever sneak a pet into a movie in the first place? And honestly, I feel like a fucking idiot for even asking that question when clearly there wasn't any thought put into this. It was just pumped out within an hour based on what popular words were floating around Twitter at the time. They saw pets, they saw a movie theater, and then decided, let's perform an unholy fusion dance of the two and create this here, this amalgamation of filth and trash. And I get this is all made for kids, so I shouldn't really expect it to have like Christopher Nolan levels of quality and thought-provoking themes or shit like that. That doesn't mean every piece of kids' content has to be terrible, like copy and pasted nursery rhymes endlessly to exploit the algorithm, or horrible shit like Troom.
Would you be so kind as to take it off? Sure! Look, it's empty! You're right, you can come in! What is the best place to hide a bunny? A magician hat! There you go, Fluffy! I told you you'd watch a new movie! Settle in!
Is it really worth the $50 to just shove your dignity up your ass and be an actor in one of these things? I often wonder, does it actually help or ruin your career to be an actor in one of these? Now, far be it from me to poke holes into the bulletproof strategies of Troom here, but this strategy is only viable for anyone that's a warlock or just familiar with birthday party magic. This isn't something that anyone's going to be able to pick up and do. You're going to have to study some Chris Angel highlight reels in order to get the technique down and feel confident enough to pull it off in the real world. So there's going to be a lot of preparation into this one, especially if you're working with a bunny that size. Fucking Godzilla here. It looked like she pulled a lion out of her hat.
Oh, you were expecting. Hi, cutie. Please, come in. Come on, how can these adorable little babies make you tired?
Now this will only work if your security guard's a fucking rookie, some kind of terrible amateur with their first day on the job. If you're not investigating every pregnant woman that's coming to your movie theater, you don't deserve to call yourself a movie theater security guard. If this was me as a security guard, I would have absolutely done it the textbook way. I would have interrogated her a little bit about the pregnancy, when she expecting, when was it conceived, etc. And then once she's done with my questionnaire, I'd give her the ultimate test, just like Ellen DeGeneres. I'd whip out some champagne and make her take a drink to prove that she's either pregnant or not pregnant. I'd make damn sure I knew whether or not she was truly pregnant or not. If she doesn't drink the champagne, she's likely actually pregnant. If she does take a drink, well, she's a terrible fucking mother and I'm calling the police on her. Or she was lying to me. Either way, she's out of my movie theater if she's taking a drink. So I would absolutely hit her with the ultimate test, because as a movie theater security guard, it is your responsibility to make sure there isn't any goddamn ducks coming into any of the movies. You're like Atlas holding the world on your shoulder, but on a much smaller scale. And also only making sure pets aren't coming in, apparently.
This place is full of suspicious people. Let's check everything in here. Clear. We're conducting the scheduled security inspection.
Now, I don't think anyone's actually using their advice to sneak pets into a movie theater, but should there be some lost soul out there that thinks any of these are a good idea, let me just say this one is an actual felony. Impersonating an officer, an FBI agent and shit like that, I mean, that's a crime. That's punishable by jail time. Even if you're a child, the law doesn't care about your age. You're not safe. Even if you're 6 years old and you try this, you are going to jail for life. You will be in the slammer forever, and your parents will get divorced, and Santa Claus isn't bringing you any presents, so don't you even fucking think about trying this, alright, you little snot-nosed, milk-drinking little turd?
Do you want to become invisible? Act like a chameleon. Haha, it works every time.
I don't really get why this one's here, because this isn't even about sneaking your pet into a movie theater. It's about sticking a chameleon up your asshole and then gaining its superpowers. So I don't even know what this is going to teach anyone. This won't work for me. If I put a chameleon up my butthole, there's a good chance I don't absorb its invisibility camouflage powers through osmosis or anything. So I just don't know. I don't even know why this is part of the tutorial.
Are these kittens? No animals at the movies. Fine. Abracadabra, we are going in. And go! Hi, girls!
I don't really get this one either. If the kittens were actually women the whole time, other witches, why wouldn't you just have them enter as women and then transform into cats once they're in the movie theater? It just seems like you added an unnecessary step to hypnotize the security worker. You could have just really thought this out a little bit better, but I mean, hey, effective strategy, I will say. You get the idea, it fucking sucks. All of these kids' channels, which comprise the majority of the top 100 channels on the website, and even extending beyond YouTube, the majority of the most popular content online in the most lucrative field is things aimed at children. And it's all pretty fucking terrible right now, because everyone's viewing children as just numbers, instead of actually trying to make something that will help kids, actually educate them or genuinely entertain them instead of just giving them something like Troom. I don't know, it's sad. I honestly think it's just more sad than anything. I grew up in the 90s, so I had a lot of different kids content back then, but that kind of kid shit still kind of holds up by today's standards as just general good entertainment. Whereas in 5 years from now, I don't think anyone that grew up on this shit is going to look back fondly on Troom's 18 ways to sneak pets into a movie theater and have a good old belly laugh about the golden years. I just don't see that happening, because it's all genuinely garbage, and I don't think anyone's actually entertained by it. I just feel like they're forced to watch it because their parents are making them stay glued to their devices because they just don't want to do anything with their kids or raise them anymore. And it's just sad. All kids content fucking sucks. That's the majority of what I'm trying to say. That's about it. So yeah. You know those situations where someone was right about something and they always say like, I don't need to say I told you so, you learned your lesson, I'll be the bigger man here and not say I told you so? That's just such a load of dog shit. I'm 5'6", I'm not that big a man, so here's me saying I told you so. About like 6 months ago, maybe even longer, on stream, I went on a massive tirade about how the majority of those primitive building YouTube channels were fake. And I pulled up multiple videos to try and prove my point, and I was met with nothing but vitriol. People were calling me stupid, calling me wrong, calling me dumb idiot brain, like all kinds of insults about me not being right. Despite my evidence being pretty much irrefutable, I thought, people just wanted to live in their delusion that their favorite primitive building YouTube channel was legitimate, but they're not. And a YouTuber named SunnyV2 posted a massive video that's done extremely well that most people have seen by now, which vindicates me, proving that the channels that I'm talking about were fake. There's only a couple real ones, the biggest being Primitive Technology, which I always said was real. It's the only real one that I know of, but I'm assuming there's others that I just haven't looked into enough. But the majority of them, the very popular ones, are fake. Primitive Technology Idea, Mr. Tifu, like all of these massive ones that sprout up out of nowhere, get 500 million views. They have like all of these crazy intricate things like water slides with giant giraffes and crocodile statues in there looking like a fucking mini golf course that they apparently make out of sticks and stones. All of those are fake. Obviously. But no one wanted to believe me when I was trying to prove it, and now that Sunny's made a video on it, now everybody knows that they're fake. And people have apologized to me in Twitch chat for not believing me, and I accept your apology, but still, I told you so. Now let's go through the video and go through the evidence a little bit and get a little more in depth on it. Have you seen the video debunking those primitive building videos? I actually still haven't seen Sunny's video on it yet, but I also debunked those videos on stream, and I was met like I was trying to teach teriology. No one believed me. I tried debunking it on stream because I was telling people that most of them, almost all of them, are fake, and nobody fucking believed me until SunnyV2 posted his video on it. Now I've been vindicated. But yeah, I still haven't seen his video yet. He came out with real evidence and explanation. Man, suck the dirtiest part of my ass. I came at you with, voice crack, with real evidence and explanation, but you guys didn't want to hear it at the time. I brought up like 3 different videos showing the aftermath of primitive building videos where someone bought like 10 acres of property and there was like multiple locations where they made those like underground primitive swimming pools and shit, and you could actually see construction equipment, tire tracks and all of that. And you guys were like, no, those are just naturally occurring jungle tire tracks. Like, I came at you with evidence and you still didn't believe me.
Almost every single primitive building channel is underpinned by countless different lies, and we've got tons of evidence to prove it.
Goddamn right we do.
Now, we need to put an emphasis on the fact that this is a 500 million views per video. Users.
That channel name is so shameless, Mr. Tifu. Is it supposed to like capitalize off Tifu being a popular YouTuber in the algorithm? I'm actually not super familiar with this one. Was that the idea behind it?
Users continued to mention one name over and over, crediting him as legitimate amongst the sea of phonies. Primitive Technology,
yep.
The 10.4 million subscriber channel, which is when going back to the beginning of these silent, relaxing videos, it becomes pretty obvious as to why they're credited.
If Sunny plays the same videos I played in my evidence, I'm gonna be tight.
Primitive Technology cuts no
corners
and shows how each stage of the construction is legit.
Yeah, Primitive Technology is real. Again, this follows the same format as everything else on the internet. Someone comes out, does something super impressive, legitimately, and a lot of other people will try and do it as quickly as possible to cut as many corners as possible to try and capitalize off it. It happens everywhere, so it's not like it's surprising that it happened with Primitive Technology. But yeah, he's legitimate. 100%.
Or blue.
And it's a weird blue colour. Why is it so blue? Probably because they're probably spilling dye in or something. There's no reason for it to look so blue like that.
Are they really creating these structures out of mud and sticks? Well, when you do a little bit of research, the answer to this question is most certainly no. The best evidence for this is found when
I mentioned this as well. In all of these videos making these elaborate, luxurious pools in the ground here out of nothing but sticks and elbow grease, they have like the bluest water of all time. And they're supposed to be getting this water from like nearby rivers or springs that they bring back to their location using like hollowed out logs and making a network out of that. But that's just a bunch of fucking baloney. So in the rest of the video, you'll see the cameraman even mentions that they just bring water themselves and put it there. And in another video that I brought up on stream, also mentioned in Sunny's video, it's mentioned that the water that's at those pools isn't even close by. They don't actually use logs or anything. There's even like PVC piping and stuff in order to help with it. But that is just absolutely not even close to being real in any sense.
Frame that in an 8-foot deep trench. Now, if they're digging this deep with sticks, how are they avoiding large rocks and potential tree roots from, you know, the massive line of trees seen just behind them? Are they being assisted by large machinery? Well,
No,
we'll get to
they're
that
just
in a little
very
bit,
strong.
but first, let's focus on the clip where a guy in a white t-shirt can be seen working on a project in the background. Yet, if
No, that's just their cameraman. He's also using sticks over there in order to whittle out just a little stubborn branch is all.
as the video would suggest. It is a large operation, as you may suspect, with a large team.
I'm
behind
shocked.
it. After he then offered to answer any questions we had about their channel, we attempted to figure out how many different construction sites before capturing over 8 minutes of footage with a drone. We'll refer to
So you guys believe it when he puts this in his video? I pulled this exact fucking thing up in my rant on these things being fake. But now that he puts it in his video, you guys believe him? That is actually hurtful. That actually hurts my fucking feelings.
There's initially a clip where 8 different workers can be seen standing around a rectangular hole in the jungle, followed by another grainier clip from a far distance where somewhere between 7 and 10 people can be seen building a swimming pool.
So to further explain this clip, which is something I've talked about at length, a YouTube channel named Photo Expression flew a drone around an area where a lot of these primitive builds took place. A lot of pools and structures like that. And he saw a lot of the aftermath, which is just a ton of trash everywhere, cement bags, tire tracks, as well as pointing out inconsistencies such as the amount of people that'll get like to work on these. So as you just saw, like teams of 7 to 10 in some cases, maybe even more. The cameraman even mentions that there's never really less than a dozen people working on a build. And this photo expression video just shows a lot of it and giving you a lot of insight into where the builds are taking place and how they're being done.
Is when you compare his meticulous method of creating fire in the wild to the fire making of these Southeast Asian primitive channels. As mentioned previously, it becomes comical. They slap a couple of rocks together before beginning an explosive
Well, they just have
fire on
better
large logs
rocks.
with no kindling whatsoever. John Winnon draws a big circle and begins to dig it out. Only in the next frame, suddenly there's spray paint on the ground that they forgot to rub out. Additionally, on the wall of the hole, these long smooth cuts can be seen which are completely incomparable to the cuts being made by the stick.
No, he's using a
there's
bigger stick
reason
for those,
this. Turns out spray
obviously.
paint marks weren't the only thing that they forgot to rub out, as in the minutes that
Tire
follow,
tracks.
excavated tracks can be seen here,
Yep.
here, and here. And
I'm... So now you guys believe these are real tire tracks? Interesting. Weird. You guys just think I'm some kind of big fucking bumbling idiot who doesn't know what fucking excavator tracks look like.
However, was that they forgot to take the actual excavator out of the top right hand corner. According to the email sent to us by the
I didn't
cameraman
even-
on one of these channels,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I pulled up that same video and even I didn't notice the actual excavator was there. Yeah, well, you know, I hit more times than I missed in my evidence. But that would have been a really compelling piece for me, I think, I'm not gonna lie.
the initial boring process, whilst incrementally we film the builders doing superficial works on the
I
whole.
would have never
The video
imagined
in
it
which
was
the excavator
this
can be seen in
big of
plain
an
sight,
industry,
then
though.
goes on to strangely display the collection of concrete from a river, which is the exact same clip reused from the previous video. Now, why would they reuse the same clip twice in 2 different videos? Well, it's because collecting concrete from a river is completely and utterly bogus. Concrete doesn't grow in a river, according to a civil engineer who had commented on one of these.
I will fully admit, I never really stopped to think about the gathering of concrete. To my stupid little reptile brain, I assumed that you could get something that resembled concrete using river minerals and dirt and mud and shit. I never realized how outrageous that was until Sunny V2's video on it, so I think that would have been a strong point for me to have made, but I was too stupid to make it, so I'm glad Sunny shed light on that, because it absolutely slipped by me. And I think it's important to note that even though it is clearly confirmed these are all fake except primitive technology and maybe a couple others, it's not going to affect them. People are still going to watch even knowing that because they just watch it for that comfort feeling like, oh, this is so satisfying. Oh, look at how cool that giraffe in the pool is. So it's not exactly going to hurt them, but it's at least nice that people will now finally know for sure that this shit is fake. and stop trying to pretend that it's not. The WWE of primitive building. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I would go like full-blown showmanship here and just make it really entertaining. They should have storylines where like there's a rival builder or like an evil construction man who comes by and tries to like tear their house down or something that they have to fight. Like, get real wild with it.
Has their own unique method for creating natural concrete. This channel's concrete is simply a mix of dirt and water, which, if you think about it for 2 seconds, doesn't create concrete and rather creates muddy water, or mud, which is just dirt after the water dries. This other channel gets a bit more creative with it. Expression had stumbled upon various completed primitive builds, also showed that after these channels are finished building, the sites are simply left to rot. This video doesn't speak for every Southeast Asian primitive building channel, but in this particular case, rubbish was left everywhere, including, as you might guess, cement bags. The fact that the videos are fake isn't were attached together then used to siphon water from a river to the pool. Only there was no river. Photo Expression found the exact site of this pool, then stated in his video that in reality, the closest water source was more than 6 kilometers away. Instead, he found a bunch of blue plastic piping attached to a tap in the ground. The funny part is any scene where you see them sourcing water from some magnificent waterfall or lake, they're actually going somewhere perhaps hundreds of kilometers away and pretending to take it back. The video in which Photo Expression...
This camera guy seems so nice. Like, he just seems like such a jolly guy. Just, like, actively making fun of them while still working for them. Well, that's a big I told you so moment for me there. Thank you, Sonny. I've been vindicated. In fact, I built 3 mansions already. My man. They hated him for telling the truth. Yeah, I was just ahead of my time. Like Galileo. If I had to guess, I'd say all of those fake primitive building channels are probably all owned by the same company who just outsources it to multiple channels to try and get the most juice for the squeeze, which is why you see so many like variations of the same name, like Primitive Technology Idea, Primitive Technology Life. Mr. Tifu's kind of an anomaly. That one kind of comes out of nowhere and getting real wild, but I really do think it's probably like one company that does it, which is why they're all so similar. How fucking silly do you feel trying to get me to cut my hair when it looks this fucking great? Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful flowing locks right now. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my reluctance to get a haircut today. We're here to look at one of the most baffling mysteries on YouTube, a channel called 5 Minute Crafts. They're one of the most subscribed channels on YouTube with an impressive 51 million subscribers. I think I should have that many. They might have stolen it from me, maybe a YouTube glitch. I'm not quite sure how they ended up with that number, and I didn't, because this channel makes no fucking sense. It's all about secret life hacks and cheat codes to the real world. Rub some eucalyptus oil on your butthole to prevent yellow pee-pee. Dumb shit like that, and it also teaches you how to turn a used tissue into a battleship. Dumb, absolute nonsensical life hacks. You all know the drill. But this channel has 51 million subscribers, and they're posting some of the dumbest, most remarkably useless life hacks I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and take a look at their newest one, 29 secret life hacks every girl should know. Dry skin? Go ahead and make this unholy concoction in your witch's cauldron. That looks like Marvel's Venom. It looks like a goddamn symbiote. Why would you use this instead of lotion? What's the point? By God, science said it couldn't be done. To avoid staining the bed sheets, all you needed to do was put a towel on it? Holy shit, that's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Well, that one is neither a hack nor a 5-minute craft. That is common sense. Oop, got a little period blood popping out of my butthole on these pants. Luckily, I'm wearing the second shirt. I'll just wrap that around it to cover it up. I don't think anyone's going to be in that situation, panicking, not knowing what to do, like they're fucking drowning in the ocean, and then all of a sudden, Eureka! I remember from 5-minute crafts, they taught me to use this second shirt to wrap it up. Anyone would do that. You don't need a tutorial or a life hack magician's reveal here. Life hacks are fucking ridiculous, man. I think I'm going to start my own life hack channel and just make these obvious ones like this, because this shit pops off on views and subscribers, so I'll do that myself. Hey, are you cold? Try long sleeve shirt. Your dick hard? Why not try jerking it off coming, and that way it'll go soft again. Expert life hack? From MC McBig Wiener Charlie Lifehack Supreme Connoisseur. I actually do have a genuine life hack though. If you want to significantly improve your life, go follow twitch.tv/moistcritical. I stream daily, would love to see you there. Twitch.tv/moistcritical, baby, fuck yeah. This one's take a box and put hygiene products in it. It's fucking genius. These truly are 29 super secret life hacks every girl should know. I just can't believe 5 Minute Crafts is even allowed to reveal this type of top secret information right here. You'd think it'd be protected under lock and key, fucking Fort Knox. This type of information is too secret and too valuable. Ah, finally a use for that mannequin arm that I stole from Macy's 2 years ago. I can use it to extend the reach of my selfie stick. Fuck yeah, thank you 5 Minute Crafts. This is the most primitive solution I've ever seen to any problem. Ah, shoe too big for foot, time to tape foot to shoe. Like honestly, it's like a caveman came up with this secret life hack here. So you had silly socks, and instead of changing them, you put pantyhose on them. Why? You obviously had time to change them. If you had time to slip some fucking pantyhose on them, it's not like you just carry pantyhose in your fucking butthole around. Girls don't do that. Maybe they do. I'm not a girl, but it seems unlikely that you didn't have the option of changing your socks, yet you had the option of putting pantyhose over them. So why the fuck go through that extra step? That's useless, and it doesn't even cover it up that well. You just look like a goddamn maniac. Anyway, though, 5 Minute Crafts is perhaps the biggest mystery on YouTube as to how they're so big. I don't know who is sitting down watching these just fucking blown away by the pure amount of secret life hack knowledge that they're fucking enriching their lives with here, such as taping their foot to shoes. I'm baffled. This is like the Finger Family, but on a huge scale, like a bigger scale, because this channel is massive, raking in hundreds of millions of views a month. I truly don't get it, and I think there's some foul play going on here. I'm not going to point any fingers. I don't want to get, 5 Minute Crafted into a fucking lawsuit for slander or something. The fucking 5 Minute Craft a guillotine to take my goddamn head off if I call them out. But there's something fishy with this channel. Take my word for it. This is just odd. It's a very odd channel. 5 Minute Crafts, you fucking suck. Interesting shit, though. Take it easy. See ya. Life hacks are some of the stupidest shit on the internet, to the point where it's almost insulting when you see them. Just dumb bullshit like, if you have to fart and it's not an appropriate place, hold it in. Or super pro tip life hack turbo mode ultras life hack. If you need to remember your passwords to your online accounts, write them down. But I found a channel on YouTube that makes every other life hack look genuinely useful. It's an account called Mr. Gear, who releases some of the most psychotic, dumb, unbelievably fucking ridiculous contraptions that he considers life hacks. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the mind of a lunatic here. So this one starts with scalping an innocent Pringles can. So you murder a Pringles can and the end result will shock you. You won't believe number 6 life hack. Bravo, Mr. Gear, a real MacGyver over here. The world's most repulsive pencil holder and or cup, depending on how you'd like to use it. Really simple though, all you need is a Pringles can and some yarn straight from the 1800s. That was the dirtiest yarn I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I swear he must have dug up his great-grandmother's grave and she was buried with all of her fucking sewing materials, and he just picked up her yarn and then wrapped the Pringles can with it. It's not even aesthetically pleasing or anything either, it just looks like you dumped your shit into a stiff pile of pubic hair. That looks like something that maybe George of the Jungle would have put on his school desk, or Tarzan. No one's gonna want that, and why do you even need 2 Pringles cans and cut them up? Why not just open the Pringles can and use that as the holder? It's the same effect. I guess this is a good solution if you've decapitated your toothbrush but still want to use the head, but I don't know why you'd go through the extra steps of hot gluing it to an eraserless pencil when you can just go to the store and buy a brand new one for 4 cents. One thing you'll notice about Mr. Gear's unique life hacks is they predominantly consist of break shit and then glue that shit onto other shit. It's a vicious cycle of just glue shit, glue shit, glue shit, and then create the most disgusting product at the very end of the procedure, when you could have just bought something a lot cheaper and saved yourself a lot of trouble. This CD coaster being the perfect example. If you want to use it as a coaster, just use the CD, I guess. If you want to just throw away a Windows 98 instructional DVD, that's totally fine. Why go through the extra step of gluing clothespins that you broke onto it? It's fucking dumb. It doesn't make it look any better. It makes it look even stupider, somehow. Yeah, that looks like a good writing utensil, a straw with the fucking pin. I just don't understand, Mr. Gear. You're 10 steps above human intelligence here. You're existing on another plane that corporeal existence just doesn't quite reach yet. This man is a goddamn genius. Science said it couldn't be done. Scientists said you couldn't turn a fork into a spoon. What do you call that, scientists? That's checkmate. David Blaine couldn't even turn a fork into a spoon. You know what Mr. Gear says to David Blaine? Suck his fuck, Mr. Blaine, because he has just turned a fork into a spoon. An amazing transmutation here, and he teaches everyone how to do it with a simple life hack. I also appreciate how he has a pretty hard cut on the back of his hand that you know he got while cutting up the Coke can, so don't nobody ever say Mr. Gear doesn't make sacrifices for his life hacks. There's a question that's never been asked by a single human being throughout all of history. I don't think anyone gives a shit on how to protect their marker. It's not like there needs to be marker insurance. Shit! I've just been burglarized and they broke all of my markers. Luckily, I'm covered. And even if he means protecting the marker from drying out if you lose the cap, who gives a fuck? Just get another marker. Marker lives don't matter that much. I don't think there's a huge movement to fund research for breakthrough scientific discoveries to increase the lifespan of a marker. I take it all back. That's a fucking great solution. Just wrap a balloon on it like a condom. Now, it was this hack that really greased up my shit stain and confused me, because I was under the impression that these life hacks were aimed at kids just to give them something fun to do, but they really can't be, because he doesn't use kid-friendly tools. He uses box cutters, razor blades, and now a fucking blowtorch. I'm sure the next tool he's gonna break out is a goddamn circular saw or something. That shit can't be aimed at kids, because kids shouldn't have access to those kind of power tools and materials. So this has to be aimed at adults, but what full-grown, rational-thinking adult is going to look at any of these and be like, yeah, that's definitely a lot easier than the alternative of just buying a 3-cent replacement. If there is a single living, breathing human being that watched that and unironically thought to themselves, Eureka! Finally, the answer to all of my prayers, the solution to my sleeping problems where it's too bright to sleep. I've found it with the Coke bottle paperclip mask. Damn, too bright for sleeping? Why not just turn off the light? If that's too much trouble, why not get a face mask? Why would you ever make that right there? If there's a single person, though, that unironically made this, I will genuinely shit my pants, take off the shitted pants, and then eat the shitted pants. Because I don't believe a single person out there, no matter how mentally unwell, would look at that and think that's what I need in my life. Thank you, Mr. Gear. I don't know what the fuck this is. Maybe he made a little lemon titty. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. A modern art piece? I couldn't tell you. But god damn it, your life has been hacked. Through the miracle of cold fusion and hot glue, Mr. Gears created the world's most inefficient eraser. What a beautiful double whammy to finish this video off from Mr. Gear. He gets you with the 1-2 punch. He makes a pencil sharpener that, well, it's just a pencil sharpener. And then he makes a flimsy plate holder that will 100% break your plates. Your life has been fucking changed. Thank you, Mr. Gear. I'll make sure to do all of these. Never. But god damn it, those are some real creative shit-ass life hacks. See ya. Weird fetish videos are a lot like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Absolutely fucking gnarly. I'm always fascinated by the amount of bizarre fetishes that I can find on YouTube, and today I found a great one. This one is a pie in face fetish. I think that kind of speaks for itself. I don't need to explain exactly what it is. However, God, I don't think you're prepared for just how fucking amazing it is. Let's just get right into this sensual action. I hope you all got a condom on, because you're going to be blowing some fat loads here.
Oh, I bet that you will never guess what we're gonna do today.
I wouldn't be too sure about that claim right there. I wouldn't bet on that one. I think I could venture a pretty accurate guess as to what will unfold here today.
You see all these pies in front of me?
Oh yeah, I see them. I haven't taken my eyes off those pies. Ooh, he just pointed at my favorite pie.
Getting excited, aren't you?
Mm-hmm, yes. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. What the fuck?
Every single one of these pies is going to be smashed into my face. It's pretty hot.
Now, I like that little noise she makes with after she says what she's going to be performing here, the Cirque du Soleil stunt with the pie smashing into the face. I like the noise she makes, the It reminds me of like some Nintendo 64 shit, like an Ocarina of Time if you startle one of the NPCs and their first line of dialogue starts with one of those kind of things. That was kind of nostalgic. And she says it's pretty hot, but I don't know if she actually believes that. I feel like she's just trying to take advantage of civilized fetishists like me who get off to pie and face videos and shit like that. I'm not sure if she's an authentic practitioner of pie facing. However, I'm going to be grading the passion behind the pie facing in just a moment once she gets into the action here. Then we'll really see what she's made of.
Because that's always the issue with these things, is somebody's got to clean up the mess. Dynamite.
I don't know who the fuck is drag racing outside, but they are hauling some serious ass. I guess she's doing this on the set of the new Fast and Furious or something, or maybe she's at like a Formula 1 race or something, but that man was really pumping some dick out there in that car. Now, she just keeps teasing us with a lot of foreplay before getting into the actual pieing of the face, so I'm going to skip a little bit here. I'm also going to have to do some zooming in on her face instead of showing the video as is, because she takes her dress off and she's just in a bra, and I don't know if I'm allowed to have that shown. So just to play it safe and err on the side of caution, I'm just going to show us what we really want to see, which is the pie in the face. We don't really care about the bra titties and stuff like that, so that's just giving you a heads up. Now that honestly was textbook form right there. Beautiful execution. You couldn't have planned it any better. That was a beautiful pie and face maneuver. I will say I'm a bit disappointed in the quality of the pie, especially on the paper plate. Just seems very low effort, kind of haphazardly thrown together. Not a whole lot of preparation. Not even using actual plates. I'm going to have to deduct a few points from my score on this one as a judge. But overall, not bad. It gets the job done. I masturbated and got off when I first saw this on that first pie. And just look at her face. It's clear that she does love this. She has a very clear love of the sport for pie facing. It's the face of euphoria right there. It's fucking horrifying. It really looks like in the Bleach anime when Ichigo is first becoming a hollow. It looks like that fucking mask. Let's get on to the next pie. I don't know what kind of psychopaths find this hot, but this shit's disturbing. It looks like some type of old 1980s horror movie poster about a candle wax demon come to life. It's like a really fucked up modern art piece. It's like the Scream if it was the Cream. Craziest shit about this shit is there's an actual cameraman here. It's not like her doing this to a static camera in her own comfort, privacy area. There's someone actually watching this hands-on, first-hand, a front row fucking seat. Hats off to that hero for not laughing or being grossed out or ejaculating. I mean, any of those could have happened here. This is a fetish after all. It's a very peculiar one, but you know what? Honestly, I'll give you my stance on fetishes. There's some real weird ones out there, but as long as no one's getting hurt, I don't give a shit. Whatever you're into, go for it. As long as no one's getting hurt, totally fine by me. This shit, totally fine by me. And god damn it, does it make for one spicy, beautiful disaster of a YouTube video. Now, one of my favorite things when watching these bizarre fetish videos is reading the comments from the people that enjoy them, the pie and face enthusiasts in this case. The comments here were pretty normal for the most part, just simple stuff like, wow, I'd love to pie her in the face, or wow, I wish she'd pie my butthole in the face. But there's one person in particular that left perhaps my favorite series of YouTube comments, so let's turn our attention to those for a moment. We have to girl who was in your own home. Now, truer words have never been spoken. It took me a little while to really understand the metaphysical nature of this statement here, but my God, it's something it's a thinker. It's a profound statement here. Never before has a YouTube comment been able to convey so much emotion in so few words. It truly is have girl who was in own home of hers. And now I understand a couple of you are probably confused, so they came back to clarify by saying you. So now it all makes sense. And even if you still don't understand, they replied to the comment again for further clarity by saying face. So you put it all together and we have to girl who was in your own home, you face. So thank you very much for the beautiful words. And of course, thank you to the woman who made this beautiful video. It's truly fantastic. So thank you. That's it. See ya. With our modern technology and our advances in the scientific field, we're able to understand and explain a lot of things that occur in our universe, yet there's still one very human phenomenon that eludes all possible rational explanation, and that is fetishes. Fetishes are a lot like nipples. We all have them. Now, my personal belief is all fetishes are totally fine as long as no one's getting hurt and everyone has consented to the activity. It's totally consensual across the board. You know, whatever 2 consenting adults or even 5, 10 consenting adults want to do behind closed doors, totally up to them, totally within their right, and totally fine by me. Just as long as all parties agree to it. You want to stick G.I. Joe action figures up your buttholes while getting pepper sprayed for sexual pleasure? Be my guest. That's fine by me. I personally wouldn't come because of something like that. That would be like some shit I'd see on 24 for some advanced torture shit, but to some people that might be pleasure. And for those people, that's fine with me. Now, that being said, if you're gonna put your fetish on YouTube, well, I think it's totally fine to make some jokes about it. Today we'll be exploring the wild and wacky world of clown fetishism, honk honk, and it's a fucking doozy. I can't show you half of the clown fetish videos I found on YouTube because a lot of them are just genuine porn. I watched an uninterrupted 5-minute porn scene between 2 clowns that had nudity. I don't know how half of the clown fetish videos are still on YouTube, maybe for educational purposes, or maybe YouTube's jerking off to it themselves, I really don't know. But I can show you a few of them that really capture the fetish in essence.
Hey, Daddy. I've missed you. Where have you been? I want to be your boyfriend.
No, this is not a sneak peek into the upcoming It Chapter 2 movie. This is clown fetishism. I've been having a hard time debating with myself whether or not the video is real or a parody of clown fetish videos. It's really hard to distinguish for sure because a lot of clown fetish videos are very similar to this, just with nudity and a couple other people and nipple clamps. So it's really hard for me to deduce whether or not this was a genuine attempt to tease clown fetish enthusiasts to get them ready for action, or just kind of taking the piss out of clown fetishism. I really don't know for sure, but god damn it, it's definitely worth sharing regardless.
Daddy, do you like my hair? Is my hair pretty? Do I look pretty for you? Hey, Daddy, I know what you want to do. Do you want a balloon animal?
This guy's looking like the kind of birthday clown you'd find on Fiverr. Like if you were really trying to save money on your child's birthday, you'd hop on and hire this guy to go perform. He's looking like an alternate dimension Ronald McDonald who suffers from a crippling meth addiction and who has also just been defeated once and for all by the Hamburglar. I'd also like to say I really appreciate the voice he's putting on for the character. It really takes it to the next level. He sounds like a squeaky door mixed with a little bit of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I just wanted to remind you how beautiful you are.
Well, if you haven't filled your pants with cum yet, it's probably safe to say that you don't have a clown fetish, but I'm no expert, so I'm going to keep exposing you to these Rorschach paintings, and maybe you'll start seeing more clowns and more sexual awakenings within your own body. This next one is just from another clown fetishist, and she actually does something different. Her whole channel is based around clown fetishism. It's called Coulrophilia, I believe. I'm going off memory, but I'm pretty sure it's Coulrophilia, because the fear of clowns is coulrophobia, I think. I could be totally fucking wrong. That might be like the fear of League of Legends. I honestly have no idea, but I think it's something like that. And her channel is based around that and talking about clown-related material.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. Ooh.
So the Netflix adaptation Harley Quinn is drinking her cotton candy shake to entice the clown enthusiast while she goes over some clown content. And as far as fetishist content on YouTube goes, hers is about as tame as it gets. She just reviews clown shit while in clown fetish getup for most of her videos. If I scrolled 2 videos under hers, I found someone in full clown getup spanking bare ass cheeks with a university textbook. So as far as fetish content goes, that's about as tame as you're gonna find. But if you're looking for fetish content, you're probably not looking for tame, you little pussy. You're probably looking for some off-the-wall, wild clown shit, aren't you? Well, don't worry, I found something that I can kind of show snippets of. So here.
Sort of a kinky clown. And he's like, oh, what exactly does that mean? Are you doing anything illegal? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything illegal. But, you know, just kind of kinky, weird stuff, Dad. Beefy.
That was Ouchie the Clown. Ouchie the Clown's kind of a pioneer when it comes to the fetish. He even worked with some of the greats like Penn and Teller. I don't know if they're clown fetishists themselves, but they definitely collaborated on slapping some ass cheeks around and clamping down on some tits. These are the only 3 that I could find that I could even show on YouTube in any capacity, which is a fucking letdown. I was hoping there'd be more that I could show, but almost none of them are gonna fly. So unfortunately I can only show you these 3, but I've seen probably like 10, maybe like 15. No erections, so I don't think I have a clown fetish, but I guess you never know, maybe I haven't met the right clown. But I actually hypothesize that clown fetishism is going to be on the rise in the next year or so, because the clown emoji is so widely used all over Twitter and the internet in general. It's the newest big internet trend or meme, you know, here's your clown card, you left your clown shoes, clown clown. So, you know, you never know. Maybe it's a sexual awakening across the globe, and maybe clown fetishism will become the new norm. It'll be weird not to fuck while dressed as a clown. You never really know. It's just a theory, a game theory. I just wanted to showcase the fetish. That's really just about it. So yeah. Yesterday, YouTube lost one of its most interesting channels, Unus Annus. The death of Unus Annus was like the ending to the Iron Giant movie, where the Iron Giant flies into space and intercepts a missile, sacrificing himself as everyone looks on in admiration and horror for what he ultimately did. And I can't really say the death of the Unus Annus channel was an untimely death. In fact, the death was right on time. For those that don't know, Unus Annus was a channel and project started by Markiplier and Ethan, Crank Gameplays, where they would make one video a day every single day for a full year, and then after a year, at exactly 1 year, they delete the entire channel, erasing every video from the internet, and to my understanding, taking down re-uploads of the content, but not like evil like the DMCA where you get your entire Twitch channel banned if you hum 4 seconds of a Billie Eilish song. They take down the re-uploads because it defeats the entire purpose of the channel if it all still lives on post-mortem. So it really is kind of scummy to re-upload the shit knowing full well the purpose of the channel is to have the videos erased after a year, so that way the content only lives on in the memories of people that watched it while it was live. So I can absolutely respect the decision to take down re-uploads because it does spit in the face of the entire meaning of the project and puts a big hemorrhoid right in the Unus Annus of everything. Now the content that Unus Annus was posting wasn't like low effort shit. It wasn't like they played Minecraft for an hour and a half one day and split it up into 10 parts over the course of a week and a half or anything. They did entirely original ideas every single day, and some of them were some like really big scheme projects where they set up an entire like fucking haunted mansion and escape room, and just really interesting ideas and content that they were able to produce every single day for a full year, putting so much effort and so much into that channel, and then at the end of it taking it all down. That takes a lot of strength and some of the biggest fucking dicks I've seen in a minute. The channel had over 4.5 million subscribers, every video was easily over 1.5 million views, and even still, that didn't sway them from their goal. They wanted to create this very unique project, and they stuck it through till the end, doing everything they said they would do. They did a live stream last night for 12 hours, counting down the end of the channel. They had over 1 million people watching it. It was a really good live stream, looking back on all the memories, just going through the entire year in rewind one more time before ultimately taking it all down. It was an extremely interesting live stream. I didn't get to tune into a ton of it, but only like 3 hours in between me getting unhealthily addicted to Demon's Souls and playing that on stream for like all day. But when I was tuning in, I really enjoyed it, and I got to catch the ending of the stream, which all of it just was great. Like, the whole project, I think, was something truly interesting and fascinating. I was honestly expecting them just to come on the live stream and just goatsy themselves in front of everyone and just say, you get fucking pranked, nerds, we're actually just gonna keep posting, we're not deleting the channel, what are we, idiots? You know, just something like that. But they really did follow through on everything, and I think it's all the more special because of it. So I just wanted to talk about this because I really think the Unus Annus experiment was something really, truly unique. Something I haven't seen before, and definitely not to that level, with that level of commitment too, especially in 2020 with everything that happened with all the pandemic and shit. For them to continue posting daily, doing these big projects, and then still following through with deleting the channel, I mean, it's just really something special, and they should be very proud of themselves. And I'm sure everyone that watched the Unus Annus content has a very special wet spot in their trousers because of it. I don't know when or if we'll ever see another big project like this in the future. The only other thing that even comes close that I can think of is there's this channel I've tuned into occasionally, like checked in on once a year, like a concerned parent, where this older man will get in a bathtub wearing boots and a suit and just sit there and moan for about 20 minutes, and he uploads that once a day in different suits and different boots. So, I mean, it's kind of similar to Unus Annus in certain respects, I suppose, but I just don't think I don't think it has what it takes to reach the level Unus Annus has and made such a profound effect on so many people. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Suit Boots Bath Guy will pull it off. But right now, I just don't know if we'll see another big project like this that can compete with what Unus Annus was able to do here over the last year. So I just want to give my goodbyes to Unus Annus, the factory of fucking bangers. I'll toss some flowers on the grave and pour some Fireball whiskey on top of its tombstone. Also heard Ethan was talking some shit about me during the Unus Annus live stream, so you're real lucky that it was ephemeral, Ethan, and that there's no record left of you talking shit, because if I saw that, Hulkmania would run wild. I'd take your ass right to the WWE SmackDown WrestleMania. I'd throw your ass in some kind of confusing Kama Sutra pretzel hold submission style and start biting your goddamn nipples off or something. I'd get fucking vicious talking shit about me behind my back. Have you no shame, you cruel, cruel man. But anyway, really just wanted to talk about Unus Annus because I thought the whole thing was great and it's just a pretty cool thing. So that's about it. So yeah. Many of you know one of my favorite channels on YouTube was All Gas No Brakes. I'm using the past tense because All Gas No Brakes as we know it has been put in the dirt, buried, sent straight to hell by a predatory company called Doing Things Media. That is our anime villain for this arc. So just to give a brief background on everything, All Gas No Brakes is a channel fronted by Andrew, who's probably the last great journalist. He is the final raid boss of beautiful journalism. He goes to the goofiest conventions and meetups and puts a mic in front of them and a platform to just express their deepest inner thoughts. A lot of times they come across like actual lunatics right out of a fucking asylum, and then other times it's actually pretty informative. Andrew's microphone is like a Millennium item from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, this shit is an actual magical item that somehow draws out the crazy from anyone he puts it in front of. It's so fun. Like, he'll go to Talladega and he gets like 40 people that for some reason are all talking about butthole. It's incredible. Everything Andrew posted on All Gas No Brakes was gold. I've been a huge fan of the channel for a long time, and seeing him blow up over the last year or 2 years has just been really great because I think he truly deserves it. But what he didn't deserve is what Doing Things Media did to him. Just like a bidet, they cleaned his ass. You see, when Andrew was just a young man, a brand new Boy Scout to the internet, Doing Things Media gave him an RV and $4,000, and from that point forward tried to control his entire fucking life, like the puppet master pulling his strings. They wanted their dick into every single one of Andrew's holes. And recently Andrew made a post on Instagram saying that he no longer makes any money from All Gas No Brakes or the Patreon, so he has really no affiliation with either of those anymore, as those both seem to be controlled by Doing Things Media. This means something must have gone awry with the deal that the two had, and Doing Things Media has completely locked him out of the empire he built. Now, if I had to hop in the mystery machine, eat some Scooby snacks, and take a guess at what went wrong with the contract, I would wager that Doing Things Media was taking an absurdly high percentage, like a lot of these companies used to do, like Machinima and shit. And as Andrew continued to grow, he became less comfortable with the massive percentage they were taking from his cut. So he probably wanted to renegotiate the contract, to which Doing Things Media pissed their pants, flipped over a desk, and kicked Andrew out of the office, spitting and cursing his name, which leaves us in the situation we're at now. I went over and showed a lot about this on stream the other night, so I'm just going to play those clips, and then after that I'm going to go a little bit more in detail. All Gas No Brakes. As many of you know, that was like one of my favorite channels on YouTube. I don't know how many of you know this, but All Gas No Brakes is dead. Oh, Jesus, Andrew, the guy, is not dead. I mean the channel, sorry. The channel is dead. So, definitely phrased that poorly. The channel is dead. What happened is the deal between Andrew and the parent, Doing Things Media, has led to him being thrown off of this channel and the Patreon. So he no longer makes any money from All Gas No Brakes channel or the Patreon because Doing Things Media is a predatory piece of shit. Yeah. So All Gas No Brakes, the channel, is gone. I'm sure they're going to try and move on without Andrew, considering that's all they have. Doing Things Media is truly fucking horrendous. Look at what they own. Literally all they have is Instagram meme pages that steal other people's memes. And then for some reason they also had All Gas No Brakes. It's so fucking sad. They really took advantage of it, Andrew. They really fucking did. I was reading about it the other day. And then, what's his Instagram? Yeah, he talks about it in this. I hate Instagram. Man, Instagram fucking sucks. But yeah, he made a post kind of detailing what's going on. Again, pretty much what I just said. Doing Things Media fucked him in the ass raw. He seems like a really good guy too. Definitely didn't deserve it. He built that shit from the ground up. Doing Things Media did nothing for him. Well, I mean, they gave him the RV and $4,000. Yeehaw. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom though. He also has a deal with Tim from Tim and Eric. So I believe what's going to happen is Tim's company, Absolutely Productions, are going to fully take on Andrew, and they'll probably create their own thing. So it's not completely the end, but All Gas No Brakes, that YouTube channel, is Doing Things Media, and we will probably never see Andrew on that again. Really sad story. Andrew got machinimud. Now, it's important to note that Andrew never says Voldemort's name. He never mentions Doing Things Media. However, he does mention that the root of all the evil that he's experiencing right now comes from a contract that he signed with an employment company that loaned, or with a production company that loaned him the RV and shit like that, which Doing Things Media did. So I mean, it's pretty clear that it's most likely Doing Things Media. I'll keep it a little open-ended because ambiguity is pretty cool, I suppose, creates a nice mystery. But I think we all know who's behind the mask here. Doing Things Media is a conglomerate, I suppose, that literally only steals memes. Almost everything they own is Instagram meme pages that they lift from Reddit and Facebook. It's pathetic. I don't know how they got so lucky to have this golden goose with all gas, no brakes. It's fucking wild to me. And what's even crazier is they have the chutzpah, the gall, to think that they can continue to run the all gas, no brakes channel without Andrew. That channel is Andrew's expression. People tune in for Andrew doing these interviews. I don't think there's going to be too many people excited to see his Season 2 replacement where they bring in fucking Paul Blart to do the interviews at FurryCon or whatever. It's not going to be the same, and people aren't going to watch it as much, and it'll eventually fizzle out and die like a little wet fart into the wind, and all gas, no brakes, that beautiful channel will be going out with a whimper instead of a bang. All because Doing Things Media is greedy and overconfident in themselves. Even on their own website, they say All Gas, No Brakes grew on Instagram as if it was their doing. Like, them posting an All Gas, No Brakes clip on a fucking meme page of golfers doing things helped them in any way. Andrew grew this shit on his own. He pulled up his fucking bootstraps, pulled that shit up to his goddamn nipples, and went hard on great content. Doing Things Media did not grow this channel. Andrew did. And they kicked him out of his baby. It's sad. I really cannot believe the hubris of them to think that this was in any way a good idea. This company should have been fluffing Andrew's dick when it was soft, bending over backwards for him. If he wanted to spit in their face, they should have accepted it with an open mouth. They only have Andrew. Everything else they own is not even close. It's all fucking meme pages that are dying on their own. It makes no sense that they would think that they can strong-arm Andrew when he should have all the power in negotiation since he is their biggest outlet. Now, of course, you could say, oh, but Charlie, some of the pages they own have more Instagram followers than Andrew had subscribers. But there's a big difference between an Instagram follower that doesn't engage with your content, where like on fucking golfers doing things you have 200 likes on the newest post and shit like that, versus a massive YouTube channel pulling in millions of views per video. It's not comparable at all. Andrew, on every single one of their things I looked through, is by far their biggest. And for some reason, they decided to try and slap him around a little bit, and it didn't work. Andrew is no longer associated with it, and I don't understand how Doing Things Media thinks that they were in any way doing a good thing here. They lost their golden goose. It would have made more sense if they just tried to appease him and kept him under the Doing Things Media blanket, considering he's their most well-known and biggest one. It's so fucking dumb. And it's absolutely shameless that they take from Patreon, too, locking him out of his own Patreon, as if they had any role in that. That's people that directly wanted to support him and the channel, and they're taking that shit away, too, which is fucking crazy. So I'm guessing the contract meant that they owned everything. They had a piece of everything Andrew would ever do in his life, which is probably what scared him away from them and their refusal to renegotiate. These are all just guesses, of course, but that's what it seems like based on his Instagram post, and just based on the history of these kind of channels like Machinima and other MCNs like that. They have oftentimes done some extremely shady, sketchy, and just disgusting practices, taking advantage of people that are young and don't really know the landscape. It's pathetic, and now YouTube lost one of its most interesting channels on the platform, and it's sad. That's really about it. I just wanted to talk about this because it seems almost nobody knows about this. I know Ethan talked about it on the podcast recently, but that's the only other person I've seen even mention this happening, which is surprising because All Gas No Brakes is beloved on the internet, but it seems like just not a whole ton of people know about this. So hopefully this will let you all know that you can expect some changes in All Gas No Brakes Season 2, if they even try to move on without him, which they shouldn't. And hopefully we'll see more of Andrew and see more of his interviews and his content going forward, where he's probably going to be making some even better stuff with Absolutely. So that's really about it. See ya.